We've always had room in our hearts for film and TV, not just on Netflix, but tape and disc and theaters. Also, God forbid that they take it all away and leave us nothing to broadcast to loyal listeners. We'll binge watch every single movie, so you don't have to. What else are we here for? Coming to you every week. Listen to us while you're busy. Luckily, we forgot to grow up. Hey everybody, it's Craig.
Hey, it's Scott.
Hey, it's Andrew.
Welcome to Order 66 of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast, where we're not going to talk about Star Wars.
We're going to talk about Chinese food instead.
Opportunity.
We're just call it a misnomer. It's a
Order
stretch.
66.
That was a word I learned recently, and I was like, I'm going to use it.
Tossing it out nice and early. Not using it in the correct location, but at least it doesn't sound like something else. Yet.
Yet.
Give him time. Give him time. Episode 75, Scott's going to use misnomer, but he's going to say something else. It's going to be great. I have faith in you, buddy. Don't worry.
Now I'm just trying to imagine what that
You got
could
9 episodes to
possibly
prep
be.
it. So.
I'm not even denying it. I'm just like imagining how it's going to morph, because it will. Everything morphs with me.
Yep.
That's how language is, though. Language is
such a
language evolves.
Scott's language evolves faster than others. On this week's episode of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast, we are going to recap our movie draft from last year. Some of you watched some of those movies. If you're a consistent listener of the Forgot to Grow Up podcast, then you probably have heard us multiple times say things about how we wanted you to go see certain movies so that they would make more money.
And clearly you fucking didn't.
Lived in North America and listened to us. Thank you. And if you didn't live in North America and listened to us, you tried. And if you live in North America and didn't listen to us, well, like maybe you've got good taste in movies or something. I don't know. And then we're going to do our 2019 draft. Now, before we go into any of this, I just want to reiterate that the last year's draft was horribly rigged. And
how was it rigged?
You know how.
No, I really want, like, you guys keep saying that, but I'm like, well, I just picked first. You guys had second and third as a choice, and you guys didn't pick any of the top five movies.
Yes, we chose. We chose this.
It makes for entertaining radio, is all I have to say about that, Scott.
Fair.
But what I was actually going to say about it is that we are doing domestic totals only. So North American. We love the rest of the world, but it's just way too hard to include Europe and Asia and Africa and Antarctica and Australia. I think I got them all.
The world, basically.
Yeah, include everybody else. We're not Americans, but we're trying. I didn't say South America.
Brazil's a big market.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unreal. That was terrible.
That was great. I love that.
So, Andrew,
Awful.
I think you've got the list of...
well, I have two-thirds of the list because I didn't even bother doing the math on Scott's draft. However, if you give me a moment...
Yeah, let's just highlight the movies I had just so people know why we're not bothering talking about their totals.
I just want to start off before I name the other ones. I just want to say that we gave ourselves the option, if you guys listened to our draft episode last year in season 1, where we gave ourselves the ability to have 2 substitutes, where if one of our movies was shitting the massive bed, we were able to take a movie from our substitute list and sub it into the list to take over. And Scott, who killed us, drafted 2 movies that don't even come out in 2018.
They didn't come out.
One of them doesn't. Like, I don't even think one of them comes out this year.
That's possible. I can't speak to when Dark Phoenix actually will finally.
Well, Dark Phoenix is this year.
It's supposed to.
It's the New Mutants was the other one.
Again, this time last year they said this exact same thing. These movies were supposed to come out last year, around the same time as when we did our draft last year. And at that time they said they were coming out next year, and I just went with it, and yeah, that was clearly indecision.
Well, okay, so reiterating our order, okay, and Scott, it was New Mutants and Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Our draft order was our number 1 pick went to Scott. with Avengers Infinity War, which made $700 billion. Or pretty fucking close to it, because it doesn't matter. It made more than all of mine put together. Domestically.
Yeah, it did really well.
Bullshit. He beat me with one. Our number 2 pick was Solo, which Craig drafted. Solo came in with 213. You know what? I'm just gonna round to the next million. Is that cool?
Yep.
He came in with just shy of $214 million.
Solid
domestically.
Pick. It's just that no one else friggin' liked it.
I liked it much so.
Yeah.
Solo holds a very dear place in my heart for multiple reasons.
It came out at a very crowded time of the summer, though. And
I know, it's Disney's fault that I lost.
yeah.
No, it didn't come out in the summer. It came out in May.
Yeah,
It came in like
May
right before
24th.
May 2-4.
Yeah, it was the 23rd.
It came in like the day before. It didn't make the cut. It's not a summer blockbuster. We decided
That's
we
fair.
agreed to go with that rule.
It came out in May when 4 other movies came out as well.
Yeah.
Avengers Infinity War being one of them, I think, which was 2 weeks before it.
Yeah. Which we talked about, which just didn't make sense. Why would you put your own company's movie against your own property? But whatever. Then we get to our number 3 pick in the draft, which was, as I'm looking at it, the 4th worst drafted movie last year. Out of, at least, well, it has to be the 4th worst between Craig and I. And that was Ready Player One, which came in at just shy of $138 million. What in the unholy fuck?
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys like that movie? I know why I didn't like it, but why didn't you guys like it? Why did no one go and see this movie?
Because it was terrible.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
was awful.
The soundtrack was catchy, but it was just so bad.
Yeah. I rewatched this recently, and I can see why I didn't stay
You
too long
watched
in
it
theaters.
again?
Yeah, I was curious about it. I
I'm
needed
never
a
going to
rewatch.
see it again.
It was 100% Steven Spielberg is what it was. Like, it was
Shouldn't even
awful.
assign his name to it.
No.
Like, he should retroactively pull it.
Yeah, make it like Jed Mosley or something. Next up
Sex
on the
architect.
list, the sex architect. Next up, Scott drafted Black Panther, which made $400 trillion because it killed everything else on my list once again.
Yeah, which this was one of those ones that I was... It kind of shocked me that neither of you thought to take this one before I did.
I think we drafted based on emotion.
That's-
Yeah.
that was our
I'm looking at my list
That
and
was
I'm
our
like,
You two
problem.
seem to have done that, and I
Yeah.
seem to have just gone cold hard. What's going to make the dollars?
yeah, mine 100% fell into the no, this isn't what's gonna happen. Mine's gonna do well. Thank you. But no, apparently my $15 isn't enough to equal what was necessary. Unfortunately. Anyways, so getting back to the list, because I feel like I'm just so frustrated by Ready Player One. Black Panther. Craig drafted Deadpool 2 as his number 1 pick.
Which was a good call, I think.
Solid pick.
I think it was my
It
best
came
movie,
in
wasn't it?
at. Let me find it. Yep, it came in at $324.5 million domestically. That's a fair amount of change.
Yeah.
That's like almost 3 times as many
Especially since it came
dollars
out the week
as Ready Player One.
after the week or two after Infinity War as well.
Yeah. Something like that. We really should have looked at dates before we started jumping into this, but it doesn't matter. You guys have seen these movies. Let's be real. If you're listening to our podcast, you have seen these movies.
Well, we did an episode for each of them. I can't remember the order they came out in May, because there was 5 movies in May that came out, and I cannot remember the order of them, to be honest.
All of them.
Yeah.
They should have all come out on the same day. Have one movie release day a month.
One movie
Kick the
released
shit
a
out of me.
year.
Oh, damn.
January 1st, every movie gets released.
And then December 31st.
Only the strongest survive.
December 31st, they take the shows you're watching off Netflix. That makes sense.
You're not even on the 1st, the 31st.
Yep, the 31st. So next up, my number 2 pick was Fantastic Beasts, which I thought did so much better than it did. I was like, this is a solid pick. Granted, it came out near the end of the year, so maybe it's still making money. It's not, but I can pretend it is. but it came in at 157 million.
Which isn't
Then
terrible.
Then Scott, that's awful. That's terrible. It's barely better than Ready Player One. It was a way better movie that barely made more than Ready Player One.
That one did better internationally than domestically.
Oh, terrible. Next up on my list, or not my list, on the draft list, Scott drafted Incredibles 2, which was a total out of left field move, but it worked for him.
Well, this again was one of those ones that I'm like, wait, you guys had 4 picks before I picked this one. And no one.
Because I went with emotion. I was like, you know what, Ready Player One.
How did Incredibles 2 not play into your emotion? Didn't you see Incredibles 2 and I didn't?
Yeah, I saw it twice. What's your point?
I think we see why my list ended up being...
That one was your number 3 pick. Craig and I each had 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
After that, I took Ready Player One because I was like, you know what, this is a Spielberg movie. It is going to make tons of fucking money. It's sci-fi. It's going to be amazing. And then it wasn't. And then I took Fantastic Beasts 2 because I was like, you know what, people jones hard for Harry Potter. I'm pretty sure the first one did fairly well. People are going to love to see this movie. They're going to cream their pants to go see a young Albus Dumbledore.
That's fair. I thought this one would have done better too. That one I would not argue with as much. And
that's it. Those are the only 2 picks I got in before you took Incredibles. It's not like it was your 5th pick. It wasn't one of your backups.
Well, it kind of was.
Your 3rd pick.
I didn't expect to have it on my list. You know what I mean? It'd be like,
I got 2 picks. And Craig didn't shit the bed. He took 2 decent movies there. They weren't as good as your first 2 picks, but they were pretty good.
You can't say Solo wasn't at least a half solid pick. It's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Well, it was also like 3-4 months after Last Jedi.
I will defend myself by saying I did not look at timing.
That's fair. That was the only reason I thought it wasn't going to do as well
this year.
That was the only reason I said Solo, didn't have Solo in my top 3 choices. / it wasn't an option at that point too.
No, it wasn't. Not after you.
No.
Not after you took.
But how? Because when I prepped for last year's, I made a whole how you would a fantasy team, right? I wrote out my order of the ones I wanted, and I slashed out as we went down, and that's why I'm like, I guess when I say I'm surprised you guys didn't pick this, is because that's how I prepped, and I guess I'm assuming you guys prepped. But now in retrospect, thinking upon that thought,
no,
my mistake.
Clearly.
Why would we prep like that?
What's prep?
Like that? Why would we prep like that?
That's fair. I sometimes forget everybody's not like me.
Yeah. Fuck you. Anyways, next up, Craig took Jurassic World 2. It made a whopping $417 million.
That's a good one.
That's better than my 2. In fact, that's almost better than my 3 once I come in with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, this one surprised me a little bit too, because this one I would have picked if you hadn't picked next. You know what I mean?
I distinctly remember the first Ant-Man killing it. The first time around. Everyone loved that movie. It was a different type of Marvel movie. It was something slightly more entertaining as opposed to just being nothing but action. And it just, I guess it did not go as well as I thought it did.
Well, this one had the unfortunateness of coming out after Infinity War, right? The first.
That's true.
And if you look back at the MCU, most of the movies that come out after the Avengers movies are some of their worst profiting ones. So after.
That's true. Ant-Man was only 180 million domestic, but I remember everyone loving it.
Yeah. Because it was different. I do remember that as well, how different it was. People were oh, they're finally going in, letting it go in a slightly different direction, even though it's still standard, superhero origin story, but
yeah,
it's hard to get away from
it was something different. It wasn't directly tied in with the Avengers at that point, so it was nice to see something kind of freestanding, float alone.
Yeah. So I think Ant-Man and the Wasp just had the unfortunateness of just being bad timing again.
Yeah.
What was next? Did we only do 3 picks, or did we do more than 3?
No, we did 5.
Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure.
You took A Wrinkle in Time, which came in with a ton of money, probably. Actually, I don't think that one was that good.
That one actually did shit. I saw.
Do you want to guess how much it was?
I think it was like probably less than 100, so I think it's around 90 right now. 80, 90.
100.
Oh, right, because it had that bump over the summer, right?
It made it made 132.
Oh, 32.
Like
damn.
worldwide.
Oh, worldwide.
Yeah.
And 100 of that was
and then
domestic.
it says the production budget is non-existent because they're embarrassed about how much it costs them to make it.
Yeah, because that one definitely lost them a lot of money. At least,
Yeah.
I'd say probably at least 100 million.
At least one, anyways.
But that one
they
also
didn't get my money.
Yeah, that one surprised me a little bit, though. I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a hit, but now that I think of it, I'm like, I don't know why I thought that. Like, I knew it, but I also didn't care enough to go see it in theaters. So I was like, I don't know why. Another one.
Why would you draft something you didn't see? Actually, I take it back.
I
didn't
definitely
see.
did.
I didn't see Wreck-It Ralph 2.
I
or
definitely.
Venom, so
I definitely drafted stuff that I did not see.
yeah, like the upcoming Ocean's 8. Just kidding. You saw that, didn't you?
No.
No, you didn't. I saw.
I thought
that,
it was
though,
a stupid
and I loved
concept.
it. That's true.
But I drafted
true.
it because I felt like it would get some bumps from people who cared about that sort of thing.
It did because it made $140 million off me.
See?
I made a very bad mortgage decision,
and
guys.
I went and saw Venom, so we swapped.
That's true. You helped me a little more. Yeah, he came in with Ocean's 8. I came with Wreck-It Ralph 2 as my number 4 pick.
How did that do?
Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Yeah.
176 million.
That's not
That
super
is
bad.
that's my top 3 movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Not great, my friends. So Scott's last draft pick was Aquaman, which I'm sure has broke the $1 billion worldwide. I'd say
Yeah.
it's probably around
It's actually-
$500 million domestic.
Domestic, I'm not sure, but I know worldwide it's the highest grossing DCEU film. And
Yeah,
it's
I knew
around
that.
900 at the moment. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's at 963 worldwide.
Yeah.
But it's only at 266 domestic.
Yeah. It's made all its money in China.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as it makes money. I like that movie.
Yeah, but 2's still not terrible domestic, and it's still kicking around a little bit in theaters. Well, actually, it had its
That's
third
true.
week as the top box office film.
It
this past
hasn't
week,
been
so-
out that long.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
That's true. I forgot it was like closer to the end of December it came out as opposed to beginning.
Yeah. Craig's last pick, and this is a head scratcher right here. This was Tomb Raider. Can you explain that one, Craig?
Yeah, you gotta justify this one, Craig, for us.
Shiny. The name was shiny.
I'll give him it.
That's about it.
You mean the lady was shiny too?
No, just the name.
It had
Just
the
the fact that
franchise appeal.
It said Tomb Raider on it.
That's
if it
fair.
said Crypt Bumbler, then I'd be like, no.
The Crypt Bumbler. I like that.
This is
That's what it was, because it came in with a paltry $58 million domestic. But
I made
but-
that last year.
close to it.
That's why we do this
CFL players
podcast.
didn't. CFL players didn't. But
CFL
luckily for Craig, he has the option to substitute one of his backup movies in, which comes in with Rampage. Another question
Can't
mark.
believe I picked that.
It came in with 101 million, and Mamma Mia 2,
I remember picking
which
that
came
up.
in with 120 million.
Well, then obviously you know which one I'm going to swap in.
You're gonna leave it as is, so I have a chance of catching up to you.
Not a chance. I'm going to go with the higher one, which I think you said was Mamma Mia.
Yeah. That brings you to approximately $1,215 million.
Which is it's all right.
My last movie, my 5th pick, was Venom 2. Not Venom 2, Venom. I don't know why there is a 2. Oh, it's a 2 in front of it. That's what it is. Dyslexic moment for a second. Venom was my final pick, and it came in at 213 domestically. Sicario 2 and Pacific Rim 2 were my backups because I thought Sicario 2 would do a lot better than it did, because people go nuts for that. The first one. Nope.
You pick with your heart. That's what you gotta say. You pick with your heart.
Yeah, I did. Well, people go, like, I think a lot of times I go off movies that people like after it's been in theaters.
Yeah.
Ones that get big later.
Yeah, ones that have like the Netflix appeal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went with Sicario 2, and it sucked. Sucked ass. And Pacific Rim 2 sucked even bigger ass. So I'm stuck with $901 million. I didn't even break $1 billion.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's turn around this year.
Infinity War made like $960 million. Scott beat me with one fucking movie. I think the worst part of this is looking at Craig's thing, and what was the last movie that came out for you, like June, July?
Something like that.
Road to long game, man.
I think Mamma Mia might have been one of the last ones to come out.
I got them all done early so that just in case I could get all of the money in. Even though I just said like a couple of minutes ago that I didn't look at timing when I picked movies.
Yeah, Mamma Mia 2 came out in July.
Yeah, I think that's the latest one he had.
Yeah, that was the last one on your fucking list.
Front loaded it, man.
Yeah. Jesus. And then, which one of mine came out end of the year? Fantastic Beasts came out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph and Venom. Like, all my movies came out near the end of the year. I'm going to blame it on Christmas. That is not a good excuse, but I'm blaming it on Christmas.
I went and saw Venom. Other people went and saw Venom.
I saw Venom.
It's out on DVD now. I still haven't seen it.
It's good. You should watch it. I liked it.
And with that, guys, I'm deleting our lists.
Forever. Even though we all got hard copies of it.
So what do I get for winning, guys?
You get the third pick
In
this year's draft.
And the fact
Sounds
that we
fair.
talked about it.
That sounds fair.
Everybody
You get bragging rights.
everybody heard that you won.
Yay.
listening will
What do
probably
I
like,
get?
"You won
Fuck
anyway."
you.
All right.
All right, that's
So-
exactly why I asked. I need some
And some laugh.
some quality
Yeah.
responses.
Yeah. Yeah. Third pick.
Yeah, no, I like
you-
that third pick is
you
the
lucky.
answer I deserve.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Andrew's gonna be the Edmonton Oilers of the fantasy movie.
Also,
draft.
I'm going to get a bunch of
You're gonna
first
get
round picks
all the
and shit
first
the
round
bed.
picks and never do anything with them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then after 4 years, you're gonna trade all of your first round picks away,
Except for McJesus.
except for McJesus, and because that's gonna be a movie that comes out by the time we get
McJesus,
to
yeah.
by the time we get to the 6th or 7th draft, there'll be a McJesus movie. So
That sounds about right. Well, are you guys ready to get this draft started?
Well, I'm third,
Yeah.
so yeah, I got to wait anyways.
Do we need to start a timer or anything?
I don't think so. Not unless we maybe for later rounds.
Yeah, if we start to drag on, but
Okay, cool. Do we want to give explanations of why we're drafting
We
these?
can if we'd like to.
yeah,
Okay, I'll
Maybe
make it
brief
quick.
ones,
I'm taking Avengers Endgame with the first overall pick
smart choice.
because I need to make good decisions this time around. So that is
approve of
why
that
I'm
decision.
taking Avengers Endgame.
That is a good decision. I would have done the same thing.
Are we gonna offer trades? Are you guys gonna be able to trade me 2 movies for my number 1?
Not a
pick?
chance. I'm not even bothering with that. Because you know what'll happen then is that you'll Avengers Endgame will make okay money, and then something else will come out of nowhere.
And then the
And
Lego
you'll
Movie 2
trade it-
and Dumbo are
Yeah.
gonna combine to make the best fucking movie.
$4 billion domestically.
That sounds about right.
The economy's not that good. All right.
Okay, Craig, you're up.
So, with the second overall pick, I'm going to take... No, I'm kidding. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Smooth pick. 2 years in a row. That's a safe pick.
That's what I said last year. Star Wars is a good property. I think what'll help it this year as opposed to last year, as opposed to Solo, is the fact that it's the last in the trilogy.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
even people who didn't really like The Last Jedi will still go back to see if they correct it.
They'll go see